Hi, welcome to another episode of the Consulting Trap. I'm your host, Brian Maddox. With us today is Doug Dibert. Welcome, Doug.
Hello, Brian. Thanks so much for having me on the podcast, Chef. I'm excited to mix up something really special today.
Awesome. So, we spoke last week and we started talking a little bit about your startup or how you started Magnfi.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the background and history of what you've been doing?
Yeah. So I am primarily a video producing, video marketing, video guy. I used to run a video marketing agency called Crossing River Studios. And I started that company January 5th, 2005. I remember the date is because I had got all my expenses lined up. And then I decided to purchase way too much video production equipment. But back in the day, man, January 5th, 2005, back in the day, they didn't have smartphones with all these fantastic video settings on them, man. I was shooting mini DV tape, man, old school, reel to reel, hardcore,
I have a bunch
man.
of that. You know what I miss? I miss the flip video camera. Once Cisco or I forget who bought them. Remember that one that had that little USB thing that popped out the top?
Yeah,
that thing was like the very first contributor to viral videos. So 2005. It was an innocent time back in the
exactly. Day. Yeah, I was at a Panasonic DVX 100A, shot 24p video, man. Up the cinematic. I'm like, boom, man. This is like a film camera. So way back in the day, but I'd buy like big things of tape in bulk, you know?
Yeah.
So started off doing that, doing weddings and bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs, and eventually transitioned into videos for businesses and pivoted to be a video marketing agency because I was going into pitch meetings with clients to pitch to make a video. And back in the day, it's still kind of like this today with video production companies. We want to tell your business's story, right? We want to tell your story. We're storytellers at heart, right? And when you're in a pitch meeting with a bunch of other companies vying for business, that they're hearing that same thing over and over again. Everybody's a storyteller. So if you weren't first in, they would say, well, okay, how is it going to cost me to tell my business's story, right? And you instantly became a commodity. And I thought to myself, when I close a client, like what happens? So I really reflected on that. I took a day and just like thought through past clients, successful clients, like what happened in that conversation. And what happened was I was talking video marketing, what they were going to do with that video after it was made. Like, why are we sitting here? So when I would go into a pitch meeting, this might be a great tip for anybody is, why am I here? And because typically like, well, you're here for me. And then when you ask them, well, why am I here? It instantly makes you like in control of the talk. Why am I here? Are you wasting my time? Right? Or do I need to be talking to somebody else? So they go, when you ask that question, they go, oh, well, reason why you're here. And then they explain their pain. Like what sparked our meeting today? What's the pain? Right? So anyways, I would, in that conversation, we would be talking video. We would be talking business strategy, marketing strategy. Where's this video going? Well, why am I making the video? Oh, because, we want to prove our value, or we want to capture the stories from our clients because we want to increase our conversion rates.
How many times have you walked into that meeting and they're like, yes, we're looking to drive awareness. The two words drive awareness should never be in a sentence ever again.
That's definitely a high level pain point, right? Let's pull from that awareness bucket and see what and how are we trying to do, right? So we're not going to try to shotgun, everything, So I pivoted my video production company to be a video marketing agency, and we started attracting digital marketing agencies wanting to work with us because we understood marketing. We understood the clients, and we worked with the companies, the digital marketing agencies, to really develop a really great video strategy. So in around 2015, we started getting clients asking us about being able to film videos off their smartphones because cameras started getting so good. And I mean, especially when it bumped up to 4K, you're like, 4 freaking K? And that's crazy, right? Like, why do you need a 4K?
Way too many Ks.
Yeah, it's like, 4K is great as an editor because you can punch in and stuff like that without having to manually like zoom a camera in. That part was fantastic, especially when you're shooting video. But for a phone, but anyways, we started getting so many clients asking us to they could convert a video they shot off their smartphone, whether it was an expert tip video of the week, or mainly it was capturing video testimonials from happy customers because they didn't want to fly somebody or hire a local videographer to go in, spend thousands of dollars to film one video.
Right.
So, and then I would default back to, Brian, no, we got to tell the story of your customer, right? Because I could charge more, right? I mean, to send a human being out to film a video testimonial, at minimum, we have to charge $550. I mean, for a basic video, what Magnfi does, like in a snap, we have to charge $550 for one video, right? Even a small business has to really think through, do I really want to make this video, right? So it got to the point where it's like, you know what? Instead of trying to beat them, why don't we just join them? Why don't we figure out a way to make it easy for them to not just capture a video off their smartphone and just give it to them, right? But actually produce it. And was reading at the time Henry Ford's autobiography, but just how he got the idea to start the assembly line and stuff like that. And you can have the famous quote, right? You can have any color car you want as long as it's black, right? So I thought to myself, you know what? 90+% of our customers all want their videos produced the same exact way. They want their logo to come up with a little stylized zoom animation. They wanted to fade out, inspirational music, whether it was upbeat or low key, video testimonial, call to action, call today, learn more, phone number, website address, logo at the very end. And so we just systematized that content creation, taking out the human being out of the editing factor and had a computer essentially edit the video. So that's how Magnfi was born. And I launched Magnfi in fall of 2017. And I sold my video marketing agency in fall of 2018 because Magnfi was going in direction I wanted to go. We had an MVP out; it was fantastic, and from there we launched our white label program, which allows digital. We built it specifically for digital marketing agencies to have their own in-house scalable video marketing service offering. So that's kind of the high level, man.
So that's super interesting. One of the things that kind of a recurring theme here on the show is, you got to listen to customer data and you drive to where the customer wants you to go, even if that's not necessarily where you planned on going.
Yes.
So it sounds like that's sort of mirrored your journey as well. How and I get the sense that you've jumped into the SaaS space with the Magnfi platform. So how did you get the first enough clients on that to start paying the bills? Did you subsidize that through the video production business first, or how did that work out?
Yeah, so I was running both companies, and when I sold my video marketing agency, when you sell a business, obviously you typically have a 2-year non-compete, right? So that way you can't sell it and hey, I'm just making videos again. But for me, that I never had to worry about that because I had a business coach at the time, and I said to my business coach, I could kill this for a shot or edited video again in my life. I was just done with it. And then thankfully, I had a great team of people doing all that really great work, and I could focus on what I was really good at, right? So, Magnfi, I did not take any money out of. I lived off of what I sold my video marketing agency for, and then put money back into the company to scale up Magnfi. I did not pull out any money from Magnfi until the pandemic hit. So for a good solid 2 years, just grinding away and focusing on scaling the business up. And what I would do is I would do video marketing consulting because I had written to the contract. I could at least do video marketing consulting. Because what I would do is I'd meet with businesses one-on-one, help them build a video marketing plan, and to create over 100 pieces of content over the course of a year. And the beauty about it is that I would charge them a nice consulting fee, but in order to execute the plan, they had to sign up for a Magnfi account to create all their videos. So I'd build recurring revenue that way. So it's just kind of one-off clients really building up the platform that way. And to go back to your pivot, right? Really listening to your customer is white labeling. I never had any intention to white label the Magnfi software. I just want to focus on building Magnfi, the Magnfi brand as the go-to platform for creating simple video content. And we started getting so many requests from digital marketing agencies wanting to white label the platform. It's kind of almost like a hand to the head moment, right? That little emoji, just hand to the face moment, because if you remember what I mentioned earlier, our primary market that we dealt with was digital marketing agencies. I'm like, crap, why did I not see this? And so that's when I built the white label programs really specifically around the digital marketing agency to have their own in-house branded scalable video service that works with or without them. That way they can literally produce videos for clients with a click of a button, take that content and put it into a social media marketing plan, put it on a YouTube channel that embeds the video on their website, puts it in, adds video content to email marketing, all that kind of good stuff. So it was really, it was bootstrapping it, man, just grinding it out. And the white label program really was what took the Magnfi platform off. And our regular users, obviously, as well, just meeting with regular users, doing live webinars where I, teach video marketing tactics and stuff like that. And because it's great to have the tool, right? But people, it's like shiny object, right? They'll get the tool, like, oh, this is really cool, I'm going to dive into this, and they don't do anything with it, and then they fall off.
Right.
So you have to have a plan so they can learn and apply it, and over time, right? It takes time for people just to get in and learn something. So yeah.
So how did you, as that happened? The white labeling sort of concept is maybe foreign to some of our listeners. So can you talk about what that is? And then I'm really interested to hear about the challenges that you may have had implementing that.
Yeah. So the white label program, white labeling means essentially you take Magnfi's branding completely off of it, and you have your own URL, your own branding everywhere. Magnfi is nowhere to be found, so it becomes your own, essentially, e-commerce video marketing platform. Then we're just kind of like behind the scenes, like powering the whole shebang, right? We're the gasoline that powers your car, in a nutshell, that drives it, right?
Gotcha.
So that's the simplest way to say white labeling, right? And the biggest challenge, I think, is because I'm not a techie coder guy. I'm a video marketing guy. It kind of is out there in front of people, right? Explaining the platform, selling people on it, getting people excited. The vision, I hate to use the word vision. I don't feel like you're the visionary behind the business. That seems weird to me, but like you're driving the vision of the business, right? So I'm not a techie coder guy.
Right.
So to communicate what I wanted in the platform at the very beginning was really tough. Like making sure, because developers are really down to the nitty gritty analytical piece, right? So it was when instead of what we did feedback back and forth on what needs to be developed. It wasn't until I actually just started doing videos, screen captures, and showing examples, like visually what I wanted to see happen, is when the light bulb went off with the developers too. They're like, oh my gosh, I wish all of our clients communicated this way, because then we can see exactly what you want. And then that streamlined the process, man. I mean, it's thousands of dollars wasted just on back and forth with text and pictures,
trying to do design documents on text.
Oh my gosh. Like anybody asked me, like, well, what, when I'm thinking about developing an app, well, first make sure somebody hasn't already done it first, like really do some research.
Right.
And then if you're going to do that, figure out like what is an MVP, a minimum viable product to test in the market to see if it's something. I've seen too many people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars out the gate to just to see if they have something, right? Just start off with the barely basics, just start getting feedback from people. And just as I said before, being very customer driven on what they want. Don't just throw something against the wall and you tell the customer what you think they should do. Let the customer dictate what they want to you, right? Because I always tell people, all my white label partners, and we have a really good community. Like I said, I'm big on building community. So a really great community of white labels around the world. We do research together. We'll R&D, rob and duplicate what other people are, what we are all doing. Hey, I'm doing this. You should try this. Okay, cool. I'm doing this too. You should tweak this. And it's this great feedback, right? Because not one business can serve the world. And shoot, I totally forgot what I was going to say now. I had a break for a moment.
So, but you open the door to a conversation that I'm super interested in having too, which is the community aspect. You've moved into that community space, which is a natural evolution for a lot of businesses. You know, from the white label partner in through that development of a community. How have you done that? What were the kind of key milestones along that journey?
Yeah, so we started off with I think that I was going to transition into it as brain farted for a second. There was we started off with like a Facebook group page. Just have people pop on a private Facebook group page and started from there. And as the community grew, we started getting people that weren't seeing our post on Facebook. And so that made me go, well, shoot, I really don't want to grow this thing anymore within Facebook. You know?
No, why would you want to do that?
Yeah. So I found this great platform called circle.so. And it's a phenomenal platform that allows you to essentially build your own group, kind of like a Facebook group. And the funny part about it is that people can sign up to join your group utilizing their Facebook account. So they're stealing Facebook's like all the data that they've already got to create your own group. And that's been fantastic because like building a community, I wish I would have did it sooner. It's super important because one, especially I understand Facebook and the groups and all that kind of good stuff, but man, like if Facebook goes down, all your data goes with them, you know? And it's like it's like the importance of building that email list, right? Your email list is your own, right? So the building my community on that circle.so has been great because it's kind of like building like a your own email database, but it's community based.
Right.
So it's been fantastic. People that I encourage networking within there and all that kind of stuff. People connect up and just learn from each other. So
how did you get your first kind of active participants in that? I mean, you said you started a Facebook group.
People want it.
People want it. So help me out with that. Just a little more nuance there.
Yeah. So I guess so people want. I mean, we are in a information overload world. So there's so much information out there. And if you can niche it down so people aren't trying to search every little article, every little thing, and just kind of niche it all down for them where they can get all the information they need on a specific topic in one area, especially if it's a product or service that you offer, you know, that you want to be that go-to resource. You really don't want them going out and finding another expert, quote unquote, because there's so many quote unquote experts that are out there. So building that community, people want a quick, easy spot to go ask questions. If they have a question, even you can even use it as, I don't encourage like support. Like if you have support questions, email us at support. But if you're genuinely dealing like with a strategic topic, like, hey, I'm having struggle, closing a client, or hey, how I need ideas on how to use the video email tool within Magnfi to get more engagement, things like that. So, if you could build a community that adds value to your product or service, that's the key. So, like with Magnfi, it's a phenomenal tool, but the strategy behind it is even better because then the platform becomes sticky for people. Like they see value in continuing to use it, right?
Absolutely. That that engagement piece, I guess it serves for like a force multiplier effect. You get to mine new product direction. You get to work with those clients and increase the value prop on your end, right? What kind of major discoveries, product discoveries, or otherwise, have come out of your community so far, like for your business?
That's a really good question. I don't. We are out of the community. We've got at the very beginning. So we start off with the video testimonial capture, right? To capture and produce video testimonials. Mm-hmm. Next, we launched our create a branded video tool because our users were sending themselves requests for videos, and we're producing videos of the video testimonials. So like, okay, that's
may as well meet them where they're at.
Exactly. Yeah. So we just create a branded video. That's what people want. They just want it branded, right? So and then we started getting people asking about the ability to send 3 questions to their happy customer and have them each answer each question individually, and the platform produce a video with question and answer. And we actually called it capture a case study video. But this came from the group was pivoted to call it capture a story video tool and versus a case study video. And immediately, like, we changed the verbiage from case study to story video, and overnight we saw a 50% jump in usage.
Wow.
It was crazy. I'm like, that's nuts. Just tweaking those little words. But that came from our white labels.
That's awesome.
They got feedback from their users, and then that trickles down to the community. People post in the community, what do people think about this? And be like, oh yeah, I like that. Just that great, it's like instantaneous feedback, especially for a small business to be able to pivot. Because we're not some giant SaaS platform by any stretch of the imagination. We're a very small SaaS platform. One day hope to be at that level, right? At that bigger level. But having that quick feedback to be able to pivot like that is gold. And then we started getting people asking about being able to record a video and send it in an email. And we launched our video email tool in December of 2019. Then in 2020, the pandemic hit. And we started getting people jumping on their platform just to use our video email component. So that alone really helped us scale up and grow Magnfi. Just for adding video email, and our video email system was it was a first version of it. It was clunky. I felt bad. I'm like, oh gosh, but people still loved it. They're like, oh my gosh, this is so great. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, because then they were capturing, because when everything was all, you couldn't go anywhere. They were sending video emails out. They were creating expert tip videos and putting them on social media, capturing video testimonials from customers. So they were really, where it was helping them give all the tools they needed for success with not just for the pandemic, but even beyond, just being more active on social media with creating video content.
That's awesome. Doug, we're running out of time. I want to make sure that we get fun. I know, exactly. Make sure we get a couple chances for just a little bit more information from you. Yeah. First things first, Doug, who should reach out to you and how should they get a hold of you?
Sure. So a digital marketing agency looking to add their own in-house scalable video service offering, or a business that just wants to add video, that wants to start capturing video testimonials from their happy customers, right? Be able to send a video email and disrupt a busy inbox with a video. Great way to connect with me is LinkedIn. So if you go to LinkedIn to search Doug Dibert, Dibert, then comma JR for junior. And I'll pop right up. I'm the only video guy in there, Doug Dibert. So I had to put junior there because people were thinking I'm a junior, right? So I've got people that knew my dad and trying to connect up with me. Hey, how you doing? That's not me, right? So Doug Dibert Jr. I'm on there. So connect up on LinkedIn, and if you want to give Magnfi a try, you can hop on a 14-day free trial, no credit card needed. So
awesome. All right, and the three biggest things you picked up along the way, Doug.
Along the way in business?
Yep.
Yeah. So the first would be is communicate, right? Communicate clearly as much as you possibly can. Second, don't assume. Assumption gets you into trouble a lot. Don't ever assume something. And that goes back to the point one, communicate clearly, right? If you're not clear on something, don't feel you're going to be stupid. Just getting clarity on something. Because if you assume something, you're going to look and it's wrong, you're going to look even more dumb, right? And the third one is persistence, is just keep going when it sucks, right? It's kind of like going to the gym, right? So we don't want to go work out, and there's mornings we wait. I was like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym. The days we say I don't want to go are the days you need to go, right? So keep going, keep persistent, and so there you go.
Thank you so much for your time today, Doug. I really appreciate it. Learned a lot from our conversation, and super interested to go check out your platform.
Well, good. I'm glad you found it interesting, and I hope the viewers and the listeners as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Consulting Trap. If you have suggestions for future episodes or would like to be a guest on our show, please send me an email at brian@podcastchef.com. That's BRIAN at podcastchef.com. Before we go, we'd like to thank the sponsor of our show, Podcast Chef. Podcast Chef helps turn ordinary podcasting into a revenue-generating lead magnet for your consulting business. Our Podcasting Done For You service takes away the headache of starting up and running your own podcast. Reach out now to take advantage of our 30-day money-back guarantee. Visit us at podcastchef.com to find out how our team of experts can help you leverage podcasting to take your business to the next level.